Hello, babes. Hi, how is everyone? Hope all is well. I forgot to turn on the S, baby. That means we are in session. Time for another bad creation. This is Brown Girl Bella, and we are watching me on YouTube, but I am also on Instagram. I'm also on Snapchat. I am on the TikTok. Baby, I am everywhere, Brown Girl Bella. So I hope you will follow me on those platforms as well. I see my Titi is here. Long time no see. Yay, my Titi is here. Everybody say hello to my Titi. I'm glad you are doing a bit better. I'm doing a bit better too. Full transparency, I just came off of a great conversation with my godmother, which I had to do because I had a therapy session today. And my therapist told me my homework was to call my godmother and to talk to her about some things in my past, in particular, the relationships between my grandmother and my mother, and kind of understand things a little bit better from the outside looking in. Because sometimes when you are going through trauma and you are seeking to do the work with the therapist on trying to understand yourself a little bit better and why you are the way that you are, it's kind of helpful to kind of understand where you've been, to understand who you are and how that informs who you are to this day. So, lot of work. I'm telling you, I don't know why therapy gets such a stigma, because it is hard work. It is very hard work to talk to a virtual stranger about your life. It is not easy. So I don't know why people are like, oh, I can't do no therapy. Da, 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 da. Honey, it's hard work, and you have to be ready to put in that work, because the therapist can't solve it all for you. But what a good therapist does is it opens your eyes, because again, she's from the outside, he or she is from the outside looking in too. So from what they're observing about you, and what you are telling them, kind of informs how they can help you. And I will tell you, I've been through, this rodeo dance about 3-4 times. This is the therapy. This is a therapist that really stuck with me. And the reason why I think we hit it off so well and that she works for me is that she didn't come in and just, okay, so what do you feel about that? How do you feel about this? And make you do all the work, because that's not easy either. When you're putting in all the effort in something, and I know this is not what I was going to come out and say in the beginning. We were supposed to be talking about the BIG Renouncing, and we'll get to all of that and things that I'm over, because there's a list. But I felt it in my spirit to tell you guys about my experience, in the hopes that if you too are looking for a therapist, don't use mine. Can't have mine. Mine is for me. Hey, Terry. Welcome in. Thank you so much for coming. But find one that gets you, and you will know when you found that person that gets you, that you get, because you'll just start talking and it'll be free flowing. And it was so easy. And I felt so light afterwards, like a heavy rock had just been holding me down, holding me down. And, those of you who know me know that this is a really, really hard time for me. 3rd-year anniversary of my daughter's death just passed. And her birthday is coming up So it's a real hard time for me. And I am so triggered also by all these things that are going on in the news. And we're going to talk about that too, because I was so moved by so many things that went on this past few days. And, I finally got a chance to talk to my therapist about it today. And, she said to me something that she said a lot of things to me that really kind of crystallized with me. Well, one of the things that she said was, in order to unpack everything that has been going on throughout your life, it's first important to understand the dynamics that had nothing to do with you, that you were born into, and that then became your reality and circumstance based on what has happened prior. So the only people that still know me from that time, besides like my aunts, but they weren't really like in there during this time, was my grandmother, who's deceased, my father, who's also deceased, and my godmother. And I didn't even think of that until my therapist made me do the work. And she's like, all right, so who can you talk to about this? Who can you talk to that knows your grandmother, knows your relationship with your grandmother, and knows your mother and had a relationship with her? And that's when it dawned on me that I have this person that's been in my life the whole time, and I did not tap her and find out what was going on until today, really, until today. So I was today years old when I figured out my godmother has been here the whole time and can help me with a lot of this stuff. Again, not everything, but a lot of it she can help me with. So that's what was in my heart. It was on my heart. It was there for me to share with you all. Sorry. I know that's a lot that you signed up for today, but I feel like, and I told my therapist this too, I feel like I've been stamping it down for longer than the 3 years that my daughter has been gone. All the things that I've been feeling throughout my life. And so I'm at a point now where I can't kind of stamp it down and keep it down. It's bubbling up. And it's bubbling up in places where I don't want it to bubble up. I don't want it to affect things that are going on around me. So I'm doing the hard work. And those of you who may be in therapy too know that it is hard work, and it's not easy to bare your soul to somebody. So I'm going to use this to segue into one of the things that I'm over before we get into the big renouncing. And that is Diddy and his apology. Now, again, I can't judge because I'm not the one that he did this to. Only Cassian and God can judge him for sure. But from the outside looking in, I don't know if you guys felt this, but I felt like, one, it was insincere. And someone pointed out to me as we were talking about this, I can't remember who, probably my bestie. But it looked like at one point, like he was stifling a laugh. Go and watch it yourself with clean eyes and look and see. But to me, it looked like he was trying to stifle a laugh at one point. But I definitely felt like this was not genuine. I felt that this was not sincere. And I hope he didn't go to Cassie with that kind of apology. I hope he gave her something a lot more meaningful than what he gave to us. Because I felt like what he gave to us was not meaningful at all, was not heartfelt at all. What he gave us was some bull, you know. And I feel like John Q. Public was owed a lot more than some bull. But for sure, Cassie was owed a lot more than what that apology gave her. And then also, you got to think, you have daughters, you have young, impressionable daughters that are looking at this, that are looking at you, that are seeing all of this played out, that have to go to school with some of these people. Now, I think they have graduated or are about to graduate from high school, because I believe they had their prom. So I don't know if they're going to college or not, but I will tell you, being a young girl and being as close to my father as I was, and my father was no angel. Like I told y'all before in one of my story times, he had a lot of women when he passed away that came up to me and was saying how they knew me when I was a little girl. And I'm like, how can you possibly know me as a little girl? Like, my mom was in my life, like my grandma, like, how were you, lady, in my life? But he was a womanizer for sure, and a ladies' man, and probably a liar and a cheater. It's calling it a buck, because how can you have that many women in your life and not have some overlap and be cheating on them? That's a whole other issue. But here's the big thing. When you have young girls like this that are so impressionable, that worship you, that love you so much, and you say the things that you said on camera to us, your girls have to see that at some point. I'm sure they probably feel like I felt, like many of us felt, that this was disingenuous and just a CYA moment, because you have been literally caught red-handed. And for all those protesting, like, I would never, and I have never, and I did, you remember? Because I know I remember how they protest so much. Oh, hang on a second. My brown girl Bella is covering my baby's face. Move it this way, because I want my baby's face to be seen more than I want brown girl Bella to be seen, because it's brown girl Bella. And hello everybody, I see you guys coming in and saying hi. I'll get to you in just 1 second. I just want to get this point across, because it's very, very important. These young girls who, like my 16, 17 old self, worships their dad, their mom is gone, and you have to think, did he do this to my mom? Did he do this to my mom? Did he hurt her in this way as well? Because I know I was thinking it. I know I was thinking that. Because when my father died and I'm seeing all these women come across, and I'm like, wow, I wonder how my mom must have felt with all of these women who claim to, be with them and be with him and have a relationship with him. I wonder how she felt in that moment, when she saw all of this come to life. And I know I didn't like it. So I can only imagine that these young girls are questioning everything right now, and wondering, like, do they even know their dad? Do they even know who and what he is? And that's great, that he said he wants to get help, and that I think he said something to the fact that he's getting help, or he's starting to do the work or what have you. And like I said in the beginning, on my own self, it's hard work. And it's not easy. And it's very hard to look at yourself with a critical eye and with a critical lens and say, you know, I've got to take ownership of some of the things that I've done and some of the things that I could have done better or well. Not nearly to the extent of P. Diddy, but definitely in retrospect, in doing the work, you have to kind of come to terms with the things that were nurtured and the things that were natured. And I feel like a lot of what Diddy has is part nurture and part nature. From what I understand about his father was a piece of work as well. So I get that. I also get that, you know, he's very successful, and with the success, it could go to your head. It can make you feel like you're untouchable, like you can do anything you want, because truth be told, men in power do a lot of foul stuff. Men in power do a lot of things that skirt that gray area. And when you are a man in power, you have so many people, so many yes men around you, nobody's going to tell you you were messed up by doing that. That was some foul stuff you just did. You know, nobody's going to call you on it because they're all afraid of losing that gravy train, right? Losing that meal ticket, losing that access to everything. I was listening to one of his employees back in 2021 talk about how, you know, they were going on trips with him, and they were, you know, doing all these things for him. And I'm like, yeah, but that's also during the time that all of this stuff had happened. And so my thing is, while all these trips were happening and you were having a good time, when you saw that young lady be abused like that, why didn't you say anything? And this goes for everybody that was in his camp. When all this stuff was going down, why did no one stand up for this young lady? Why did nobody stand in her corner and say, this has got to stop? I don't know. But we're going to delve into that a little bit more. Let me say hello to everybody. Hi. My TT said, I felt like he was fake, saving himself. Absolutely. Absolutely, TT. I 100% agree with that. I feel like he was saving face. He was saving himself. He was trying to CYA. And, you know, I didn't find any of it heartfelt or introspective or truthful in the least. I didn't. But again, not me to judge. Hey, Brian Lynn saying Bella Gang Gang, welcome in. Yes, Dream Team, gang, gang, gang. Yes. Hey, BDBGP, how you doing? Calling me Brooklyn Bella. That's right, Brooklyn all day, honey, all day. That's how I do. All day. That's how I do. How you feeling? How you living? I'm doing good, day by day. Hey, everybody. Yes. Everybody say hi to my Titi. She's on the mend still, but she's in here. Yeah, welcome in. Hey, and Ho. You talking about Diddy, Ho? Diddy is a hoe. Oh, hi. I get it. Oh my God. Always and forever. Oh my goodness. Welcome in. Thank you so much for that dollar holla. Ho, please.
Ho, please.
We got money, honey.
Ho, please.
That's right. We got some money, honey. We got some money, honey. I love it and I love you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Truly. My bad. Now, I thought you was calling Diddy a hoe. I was like, yes, sis, I'm with you, Edna. He is a hoe. He is a hoe. No worries, no worries. Hey, yes, long time, but I'm so glad to see you, and thank you again for that. I so appreciate it, and I appreciate you for coming. All right, let's keep this ball rolling. Other things I'm over: the Ben and the Jen. The Ben and the Jen. Now people are trying to report that they have not been seen together in 40 some odd days, which I told y'all, I think either in my Sunday Sips or in the last Bella After Dark. I'm like, who's counting? Who is that invested in Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez that they are counting? Honey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 40 days. They ain't been seen together for 40 days. I don't care. I don't care. We got an election we got to win. We got a former president that is being indicted and had a whole trial. Baby. The defense rested, by the way, the other day, and Mr. Trump did not take the stand. As you know, we figured, like, I already knew he was not going to take the stand, so we already come to terms with that. But I'm like, something tells me he's going to skirt out of this one too, because for some odd reason they want this man to run, and I don't get it. How many Republicans are there in this country? A lot. You mean to tell me out of all these Republicans that are in here, that are out here, and again, we're not going to debate politics. I'm just stating the facts, the brass tacks of things. You couldn't find nobody else to run but him. You couldn't find nobody else but this one. This is the one you hang your hat on, Republicans. And from what I understand, some of them ain't even hanging their hat on him. So I'm like, why are they giving this man a platform to still be talking? Like, if I was him with all the indictments on my back and everything that's going on, and them looking through everything with a fine-tooth comb because they want to find something else to indict me on, I'd be quiet as a mouse. I would not be going around spewing all this stuff. I would not. I just would be quiet, because at the end of the day, they are looking to throw you in jail, sir. Why are you trying to give them more ammunition? Just shut up. You should have shut up a long time ago, but that's neither here nor there. Whatever. But fact still remains. You need to focus on getting out of this thing that you're in, with all these indictments hanging over your head. So that's the other thing that I'm over. But Bennifer, getting back to that. So then they're like, oh, because the 41 days they haven't been seen together, they're living separately, they're in separate houses, they're doing this, they're doing that. Then they started talking divorce. Oh, they're getting the divorce. Oh, even Jennifer Gardner came over to Ben Affleck's house without the kids. Oh my God, because they couldn't possibly still be friends because they've been married for so long. They have children together. She couldn't possibly be just worried about him and stopping over to say hello and see how he's doing and see how he is. That couldn't possibly be the reason. It has to be something nefarious. Lord, it must be a slow spin cycle in the news, because for them to be counting 40 some odd days and then to say, oh, Jennifer Gardner was at Ben's other house with Jennifer's Lopez is not there. She's at another house. So they're, in two separate houses. And then Jennifer Garner's coming and she's driving up to the house. I'm like, really? Really? That's what we're going to talk about? So anyway, after all of that brouhaha, then Bennifer makes an appearance and they're in the car together and they're smiling, blah, blah, blah. But guess what? The writing's already on the wall. They're going to be divorced by the end of the year. Case closed, mystery solved. Okay, we can stop counting on our hands and toes about how many times they've not been seen together. They're ending things. They're getting a divorce, okay? But here's the real tea. Miss Jennifer keep a man, don't she? She keep a man. She keep a man and she keep a ring. That girl got more rings than what's my dude name? Michael Jordan at this point. She got a lot of rings, boo. She got a lot of rings. So she loves marriage. She loves being married. She loves being in a relationship. But something ain't working for her with these relationships. I don't know if it's the men she's choosing or something with her, but she might want to sit down with a therapist. Again, not mine, because I'm very territorial. You got to get your own, Jennifer Lopez. But, and however, you need somebody. You need somebody, because at some point, when are you going to say the problem ain't the man, the problem is me? If you go through all these men like tissue, honey, and truly, she's going through them like tissue, and none of it sticks, none of it stays longer than a few years, then the problem ain't them. The problem is you, boo. The problem is you, boo. So we're going to have to do some introspective about that, because there's no way in the world you could tell me that, one, this man, who by all intents and purposes is an alcoholic, right? Because even if he's not drinking, you're always going to be an alcoholic. We know he's an alcoholic. We know he's still drinking too. Failed marriage with Jennifer Garner. Failed relationship with you. I don't know who else he's been with, but failed with them as well. Why are you even bothering with him? Why are you even fooling with him? Why'd you even get back with him? For the big love story, for the big wedding, for the big hoopla. But then even after that, it was like they were two separate people. So I'm like, did y'all just get together for the publicity, for the benefit hype? Because you can't tell me when they were both sitting, what was it, the Academy Awards, and he looked like he was bored out of his mind. Maybe it was the Grammys. I think it was the Grammys, because it had nothing to do with him. And he strikes me as the type of man that if it's not something that benefits him, he's really not interested. Like, he's really not interested in being on her arm at the Met Gala, because that's not for him, that's for her. And so he'd be bored out of his mind. That's like me, going shopping with a man. I know you're not going to want to sit there while I try on 50,000 pairs of shoes and while I peruse every makeup counter that they have. You are going to hate that. You are not going to want to sit through that. So I get it. So why torture that man? Why bring him and he's going to be miserable? Let that man sit at home, have his beers or whatever he drink, and be good. Why bring him to this? So, it almost feels like she's trying to keep up appearances and she's toting him out when she hears like the brouhaha. Because trust me and believe me, somebody on her camp is bringing her every single thing that they write about her. You know how I know? Because as soon as it hits out and it takes up a little bit of steam, she starts coming in and talking about it. Or she does something to kind of spin it the other way. Every single time. and quiet as kept. That movie she did flopped. I think she released the album too that flopped. So she needs a little extra hand holding right now. And she ain't getting it from Ben. So I don't know. Maybe Mark Anthony is sneaking over and saying hello, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. Maybe that's what's happening. I don't know. But what I do know is that I don't really care. So we can move on from that too. BDB is laughing. Salute to you too, sir. Thank you so much for coming. All right. So what else am I over? Makeup. I know. I said the dreaded M word. Here's why I say I'm over makeup. At this point, I feel like certain people are playing in my face on the makeup. Now, this is coming from a woman who, just got a little something in the mail. And so I got some new things for us to try on Sunday for Sunday Sips. And I'm going to be doing a full sit down with some of the stuff. Having said that, here's what I'm over with makeup. One, I told y'all 3 years ago, stop with these doggone long behind names. I'm telling you, this here is a lip gloss that I have on right now. It doesn't say lip gloss though. It says Prismaglass High Shine Hydrating Oil Infused Lip Gloss. Do we need all that? And then when you are representing the brand and you're extolling the benefits and all the ingredients and stuff like that, they want you to say the whole name. And I'm like, people ain't gonna sit down for that. People have a short attention span. My average videos are like 15 to 20 minutes long. 20 minutes if I'm doing a monthly favorites, because I want to talk about why they're my favorites. I want to talk about what makes them my favorites. So I want to give you a lot of information. Y'all don't sit through that. Y'all sit through maybe half. My loyal ride or dies sit through maybe half of that. So imagine if I am paid by Giorgio Armani to do a video all about this new gloss. And I have to say, this Prismaglass High Shine Hydrating Oil Infused Lip Gloss. And then I have to go into the ingredients. And then I have to go into, the shelf life. And people don't want to hear that. People have short attention span. One of the things that is doing really well right now are these short form videos. I hate short form videos. I suck at them. I think, unless I'm doing something funny, then I can, get into it. But if I am doing a short for a product or a short about a product, it is so hard for me to tell you everything that I want to tell you and need to tell you in less than 60 seconds. For beauty, for me, it's hard. It's a challenge. It's a real challenge for me. So I am anxiety ridden when I get a brief from a brand and they're like, oh, do a TikTok. Which, by the way, I did one for LYS Beauty and the protest, but I did. Thank you for those who watched it. For those of you who didn't watch it, go on over to TikTok, BrownGirlBella on TikTok. Please watch it, thumbs it up, and comment if you can, if you care to. But please like it. Please like it. I'm getting a lot of great reviews and views on it, but I need more likes. So get those likes up. I hope you have gotten these likes up in here too, because y'all be, messing with your girl on those too. How many do I have? Did I reach 10 at least yet? Did I reach 10? Let me know, TT. It's hard for me to, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to kind of get in everything that you want to say in 60 seconds. I feel like, you know, people are looking at me and mocking me like, you can't do it in 60 seconds. You can't talk, you talk too much. Da, 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 da. So I feel like people are mocking me like, you can't do it. So all that to say, I'm really trying. I'm really trying. And thank you, TT. You know, it's always your fam that's gonna give you the most love, right? Thank you, TT. Thank you. And I just did one for Dead Cool, which is a perfume, and I put that up, and the brand actually liked it and reached out, and I think they commented on it too, talking about the vanilla scent. I'm like, oh my god, so I forgot to say vanilla. I know I said vanilla in there. But you know, I enjoy any feedback that I get, good, bad, and indifferent. Oh my gosh. Okay, my leg just went to sleep. Sorry, so I had to turn my leg over. 4 are watching, only 4. Hopefully there'll be more. There were more in here. How many likes do I have, TT? All right. Other things that I'm over. So we talked about the makeup. Oh, also with the makeup, a lot of complexion products coming out. I am blush fatigue. And y'all know I love blush. Y'all know I love me some blush. Have a little light blush on today. It's a liquid blush, and then I put a little powder on top of it. I was actually supposed to put the powder on first and then put the liquid on, because that's like the Patrick Tar way. So I should have done it that way, but again, forgot. But I will do it that way for Sunday Sips. But here's the thing. Thank you, TT. Thank you. Please thumbs up the live. So I'm blush fatigued. There are so many blushes up there. Okay, I need one more for 10. Can we at least get to 10 likes? Thank yous. And thank yous. So I'm just like, all these blushes that are out, like I've got one face. And I can't help myself. I've fallen down the blush rabbit trail, and I have to cut myself off. I have to say to myself, you know what? Stop, because you're not going to be able to use all of these blushes. And then I get 2 in the mail from brands. After I say that. So it's like, tell God your plan and watch him laugh at you. But so now, you know, the blushes are out. And so I'm doing blush after blush after blush. I feel like I'm tired of me talking about blush. So I'm quite sure you guys are tired of me talking about blush. But then after all of that, here come the liquid bronzers. I'm like, dude. And I have one on right now too, as a matter of fact. It's more like a contour. I thought it would be deeper than this, but maybe I did it with a light-ish hand, because you can see it faintly here. So maybe when I do it on Sunday, I'll do it a little deeper so we can see. And maybe, you know, I'll do it as a trend to try, because I keep forgetting to do those. And there's so many new trends out there, and remixed trends too. One of them is underpinning. And so that's when you, underpainting, excuse me. That's when you put on all of your cream products before you even put on your foundation. So I would do, you know, my blush, my highlight, all that. And a lot of these are coming out in liquid forms, which is good because it's summertime now. Today was very, very hot. I don't know about where you are, but where I am, it got up to like 80 degrees, which is good because for the longest time it's been like in the 60s, low 60s, you know, maybe get up to 70, but it's been very, very cool here where I am. And so I was very happy that it got almost up to 80 today. I mean, not today, yesterday. So it's going to be very important as it gets even more humid and more hot that you start, using maybe cream products, which will last a little bit longer. Yes, they're going to give you a dewy radiance, but you can always powder down after you've applied all of your cream products. You can then spot and powder down where you think the oil will build up, which is what I've been doing lately, is powdering in my T-zone so that I'm not as oily as I tend to get. So that is another thing that I'm like fatigued about. All these different products coming out, all of these different brands coming out with things. It is exhausting trying to keep up. And I had said to myself that I was not going to try to get every single product. I was going to get things that I was passionate about, that I really want to try myself, and something that I don't already have in my collection that I can then enhance my collection on. And for the most part, I've been doing a very good job of that and being very discerning about the things that I pick. So, I did do, some things that are quote unquote popular. And I did get some of those, but I definitely didn't get it at the start of like the hype. I wanted to, try it myself in store, test it out, see if that's something that I really wanted to have in my collection. And if it was, then get it. And then I've also been blessed that a lot of product I've been being sent to me or being sent to me. So appreciative of that. Thank you so much to the brands that are investing in this, in this channel, in me, and are allowing me to bring to you, babes, some things that are new and coming out. So I so appreciate that. I really do. And I think that, as this channel grows and as we, get more quote unquote out there and people start really, tuning in and coming in and having a good time, because I'm all about that. I'm all about sharing and having a good time. I think that, makeup is not serious. We're not solving life's problems here. We're just, commiserating over makeup. I tell everybody makeup is my therapy and it's how I cope with everything that I've had to deal with in my life. And so I'm just inviting you all on this journey, and I'm so grateful. I'm so very grateful that I have people that love to watch me, that love to be entertained and just sit and talk girl talk and have a kitchen table talk like we doing now about these crazy behind celebrities and all their foolishness and nonsense that they've been doing, and kind of say, you know what, they really crazy out here. And they're going through some of the same issues that they do. And I always say this to people because I've had the luxury of being around people who are quote unquote celebrities or whatever. And I always say they put their pants legs on one at a time, just like I do. They have the same issues. They have the same problems. They have the same everything. The only difference is they have a little bit more zeros in their bank account than maybe I have in mine. That's the only difference. That's the only difference. Hi, Betty. Oh, hello, BrownGirlBella. Wow, I'm loving the hair, and you are always beautiful to me. Catching you before bedtime. Yay. Catching me before bedtime is always good. Thank you so much, Betty, for coming in. I love it. Thank you. Yeah, I'm trying to embrace these coils, honey. I'm trying. I actually dyed my hair from the last time that we spoke last week, where I said I was going to try to keep it. I'm just going to be real with y'all. Me looking at myself with grays in my hair, and I've been dealing with this since I was 16. So it's not a vanity thing, because I've been dealing with this since 16. I will tell you, my hair as it's coming in and it's coming in gray, it's coming in a different texture. It's coming in a whole different kind of thing. I don't know how to handle gray hair. At least not when my hair is mostly black and it's just grayed around here. And at the time that I dyed it last week, there was about 2, maybe 3 inches of new growth. So my hair's been growing. But the new growth that's coming in and with the grays, baby, they disrespectful. That's what it is. They are straight disrespectful. They come in, they don't want to lay down nice like my black hair does. It doesn't want to lay nice. It doesn't want to curl sometimes. I'm like, how do I have one straight piece here, then a curl here, then a straight here? It was straight disrespectful. And I think what happens when I dye it is that the chemicals in the dye allow it to lay down a little bit nicer than normal. Let me take you up into these roots, boo. You see these roots right here? You see how it's like curled up here? That's that gray that is now dark brown that would not lay when it was gray. But when it's dark brown, that texture is quite different. And my hair is about 3 different textures. I think I'm like, a looser curl at the top. I'm like mid tight, loose in the middle in the crown. And then at the back, sometimes I wonder, I'm like, where did the back of this head come from? Where? Because all the way back here in the neck, I don't know if it's because maybe I'm working out more, or at least trying to work out more. We'll get to that too. I don't know. It's different. It's different. It's not the same. It's not the same. I don't know where that back came from. I don't know. But I wish it would go away. That's what I do wish. I wish it would go away. I wish that we can all the hairs here, all the hairs here, come to an understanding. Let's come to a happy medium. Let's hold hands and kumbaya for Shannon, because I went to this expo this past Saturday. I'm still trying to edit it, y'all. I always feel like I edit out all the good stuff. But this video, I'm hoping y'all watch it because there's some gems in here. I met this one lady. Let me tell you, you know how you meet somebody and their spirit matches your spirit? I came over, and from the moment I walked over, she was like, girl. It was like we were just like kindred spirits. It was so funny. So I kept that part in. Hopefully you guys will see it this week. But man, oh man, that was a fun time. And I love the fact that, one, my boss babe is one of the main organizers of this. Why, Lori Taylor. We had her on the show in season 2. Can you believe I'm on season 3? And we have 2 more. One that is coming up in June, and then another one in July that will end the series until we come back in the fall. So I'm trying to get both out. I might have to push one to be the opening for season 4 next year. I may. It's touch and go because she just had a new baby, and she's starting a big job, and lots of stuff is going on. But hopefully we can get it out. But I do know we'll have one in June. And to see her, man, and I really do want to do a touch in, or almost like a where are they now, because one of my boss babes has a television deal, and she's been killing it. She's been on CNN. She's been on Court TV. She actually has a special now. She's a commentator. She has her own like show. She started her own law practice, so she stopped working for other people, and now she's working for herself. So I really want to do an update with her. Then there's another boss babe of mine who got a really big job. That was our gastrointestinal doctor. And so, she started, working with a big practice, and now she has a big job in there. She got her MBA. So, there's a lot of things going on in her life too. Then there's Y Lori. Like I said, she started, she picked up Hue Affair, which was a expo that all people of all different creeds, colors, but it started from someone else who recognized that African American entrepreneurs don't get an opportunity to showcase their wares like other ethnicities. So they created this especially for us to kind of showcase, everything that we have to offer, and give entrepreneurs a opportunity to meet people that they may not ever see in their walk of life, their regular walk of life. And man, I tell you, it so did my heart joy. It gave me such joy, it gave me such pride to see my boss babe kill it at this expo. This was her first time at the helm, and she had over 60 vendors there. The people that I spoke to, the vendors, were ecstatic to be there. One vendor even sold out of their products. I met some really, really great entrepreneurs, really great products. I got some products for men. Where's Terry? I got men products for you, Terry. I got candles that started from a husband and wife team. There was another entrepreneur there that I met that was formerly incarcerated, and she turned that around to then make her own hair care products. And then she's from I think Michigan, and what she did was, when she was offered the opportunity to come to this expo, she invited her good girlfriends to come on the journey with her. They also have products, and so she said, listen, if y'all can't afford a booth, I already bought the booth, just come in with me. That's true sisterhood. That is something that, man, it swelled up my heart to see her offer this opportunity to her fellow entrepreneurial sisters. And I gave them all an opportunity to talk. And then I'm going to have them on the show, all three of them on the show for next year for Boss Babes, because, man, their story is a testament that there's a higher power, and that even if your life gave you some bad turns and you made some bad decisions, all is not lost. All is not for naught. There is still an opportunity, while there is breath in your body, to change it around, to make it new, to make a difference in somebody's life. And this lady did that, and she was a blessing not only for herself, but a blessing for her other fellow entrepreneurial sisters. Y'all gotta meet her. Y'all gotta show some love. Like I said, a husband and wife team that started their business out of COVID because she had asthma, and he was in the house with her, and she really loves candles, but she couldn't really light candles because of the soot and the black smoke, and all of that triggered her asthma. So together they figured out a way to make a candle that she can enjoy, and then they sent it out to their friends and their family. And that's how it goes, right? That's how I started. I had 50 people. My titi and a few of my friends, 50 of y'all said, all right, Shannon, we gonna ride with you. We're gonna ride with you. And now look, over 5,000, and God willing, even more soon. Um Welcome everybody from Betty. I'm a girly girl. Listen, you people are my tribe. You babes are my tribe, because I told y'all from the very first time that I could remember being involved and being in love with luxury makeup, I was like, football. I don't want no football. I want lip gloss. I want nail polish. I want this. I am a girly girl. I am a girl's girl all the way. Yes, hello to everybody. Girl, those grays though. Disrespectful. Mm-mm-mm. And I saw this woman on TikTok with a beautiful silver top knot. So pretty. And her grays, I'm so jealous. The way those silver hairs slicked back and were so beautiful. I'm like, how she get them gray? I'm looking at her like, how she get those gray to behave so well? How she do that? I wonder what she uses. And it was straight. Like, she didn't have it curly. She had it straight. And I know she also wears her hair curly too. But it was so beautiful. And that top knot, honey, was just top knotting. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful sight to see. And I was so jealous. I'm looking at her like, I wonder how she does it. And if I ever get a chance to ask her, I'm gonna ask her. Because I tell you, I would love to be able, because I'm a woman of a particular age. I know I can handle being gray, but what I can't handle is the disrespect and the not being able to manage it. And I'm like, how the heck do they manage these doggone grays? Oh. No. I have no sense, right? I have no sense. Oh, yes. So I don't know if you have facial hair, Terry, but he has a line of hair care products, skin care products. He has beard care. Oh, it was really good. He spoke a lot about his brand, and we didn't get too in depth in it. I mostly stuck to like what the products are and how you use them and all of that good stuff. But I have all the links for you all, and I am so excited to bring that to you because it was really, really, really good. It was really good. Great expo. Hi, the expansion with Vanessa. Welcome in. Have a wonderful Memorial weekend. Remembering those who have gone before us is what I hope others will do for me one day. I subscribe. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Congrats on 5K subs. Thank you. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Betty says, I've been playing in makeup since I was in 7th grade and fighting with my mom in my short dresses. Okay. With the short dresses. Let me tell you something. What my mother and actually my grandmother sent me to school in is not sometimes what I actually wore to school. And I'm just going to say that. Okay. I'm just going to leave it at that. Sometimes we had a little wardrobe change on the way to school, because sometimes, love my grandmother, but, she was a grandmother. So she dressed me, like a little old lady sometimes. And I was like, I'm a young girl. I want to show my legs. And I was very skinny, very, very skinny. True story. One of my best friend, one of her boyfriends, used to call me voodoo on a stick. You remember that? Was it Houdini? It was some rapper. Talking about, she had a big fat head and a skinny body. Every time he saw me, he would do that and call me that. But guess what? Who's voodoo on a stick now? Okay. Okay. She blossomed. She blossomed, sir. Okay. Okay. That part. She blossomed. So I always was very, very, very skinny. So I could wear stuff in the juniors through, I think, my late 20s. I could still. True story. I got married. My grandmother was 99 pounds when she got married. And she was very, very slender too. And so when I got married, I wanted that same silhouette because I wanted to take like the same type of photos that she took. So I modeled my wedding dress after hers, and I wanted that silhouette. And I've got to share with you guys. I don't know where it is. It might be downstairs in my other bedroom. The next Bella After Dark, I'll bring it. So y'all can see that silhouette, honey, because your girl had it going on. I'm just going to say that. Your girl had it going on. That's on period. Okay. So by the time I got into my late 20s, I started to fill out some. But up until that point, straight up and down, hair and just straight up and down. Straight up and down. Thankfully, I never was in that stage where I got like severe acne. My skin has always been good. So I always, I had always a good skincare regimen, even from a little child. But as far back as I can remember, I've always had some lip gloss. Okay, I always had some lip gloss. Me too, girl, and fold up the skirts at the top to make them girls shut. Yes, 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 honey. You couldn't tell me I wasn't the bad mama jamma, honey. You could not tell me that. By the way, this is Armani. This is that lip gloss that I was talking about. I got it in a new color. This is Honey Gleam. I love this. I love this. If y'all are in a market for lip gloss, Giorgio Armani. Honey Gleam is what I have on now. And then I have Candy Halo. That was the first one that I got. Maybe they did something with this one. They did something with it. This is beautiful. And I do want to they have a deeper one, like an almost purple color. I definitely want to get that one too. These are really, really good. But I need to clear out some stuff. I think maybe one of these Sunday 6, we're going to have a what do you call dumping party where you tell me, should I keep it or dump it, and be really harsh, because I find that even when I do these for myself and I film them and I'm like, oh yes, I'm getting rid of it. Guess what? There's always one or two that I'm like, well, I'll just save this one because I only have one. I start rationalizing with myself. Well, I only have this one. And so, I'll wait till they get other colors, or, I'll keep this to remind me to get more. Girl, I need to let it go. So I need y'all to help me be brutal. Because here's what I did. Let me turn to the side. So I got more shelving space, right? Because I feel like if it's not in my face, I forget it. If it's not something that I look at all the time, I'm going to forget it. I'm not going to use it. So when they're in here, in this drawers over here, let me show you. If they're in here, 9 times out of 10, I ain't looking at it. At least not with any regularity. Like these I look at. And these I say, oh, I haven't used that in a long time. Let me pull that out. Oh, I haven't tried that lip gloss in a little bit. Let me try it before it goes bad. So it turns it over because I'm looking at it. And I'm like, I hate to waste money. Y'all know me. Even if I buy a bad product, and y'all know sometimes I get products that's like, I don't know about this one. They said it was good, but so I try to remix it and do something different with it. But sometimes and some days it just don't work. Sorry, I am back. Not my granny poodle skirts, patent leather shoes. Yes, come on, Titi. Listen, if y'all don't know, my Titi right there, that Titi, she was a badass. I saw the pictures. She was a badass. Yes, baby. Yes, baby. Don't sleep. Don't sleep. You see her with that hand on her hip now, right? You see it, right? Y'all see this with the hand on the hips? Y'all already know when the ladies stand like that with the hand on the hips, they mean business. They means they're standing on the business, okay? And the period. Big ass bows in my hair got on my last nerve. Yeah, I used to pluck those out too. The bows and those we call them click clacks or whatever. I used to hate those things. I used to take them out of my hair when I went to bed because they would hurt. They would hurt going to bed. And I would cry. I hate these things. When I get older, I'm never going to wear these things. I'm never going to put these torture chamber things on my child, which I did. But here, let me tell you something. Then Louis Vuitton. Oh, let me get my TT down for a second. Louis Vuitton had come out long time ago with these hair bows. I got them in pink and in green because, at that time I had already become an AKA, so I had to get them in pink and in green. And then I got it in white too. And in cleaning out my things, I saw these and I had to laugh at myself. I said, here I was arguing my grandmother up and down about how I hated these things. I can't stand these things. I'm never going to use these things ever again. When when you think you all about you, right? And you get all sassy. When I get grown, I ain't never going to wear You get all sassy, right? And I get grown, I ain't never going to wear this stuff. I ain't never going to have this in my hair. I ain't never going to put that in my child hair. Here you go. Proof that stop telling God your plans because he got a real funky sense of humor. And he was like, we're going to put these out for Louis Vuitton. And at the time, I love everything Louis. Anything Louis Vuitton and anything Coach had me a hello. Had me a hello. I was all over it. And when I saw these, I had to laugh. I had to laugh because I'm like, there you go. And I'm quite sure I spent a pretty penny on these. I'm quite sure. I don't know if it came in a set or I bought them individually. I don't even want to know. I don't even want to look it up. Because if I think about it and how much I probably spent on this, I probably will be ill. I probably will be ill. Because again, these things hurt. These little click clacks or whatever, torture chambers for Black girls. And they used to rip out my hair. Every time my grandmother took them out of my hair, a little shed of my hair tears would fall. And my hair tears would be like, we're gonna let it out for the homies. We're gonna let it out for the homies. Because they hurt. They hurt. So yeah. Gotta love those big ass bows, right? Hey Maritza, hola, ¿qué tal? Man. Hey, about face of Mona. Hey, how are you, beautiful? All my beautiful girlies are coming out tonight. I love it. I love it. I love it. You could probably use it for something. Yes, they could be like those oh gosh, what do you call those things? Used to have it in the remember old school the karate shows that used to come on. I think they came on Saturday. My father used to make me sit down and watch all of them. He's like he didn't want me to go to actual self-defense class, so he thought that watching it on TV, I guess, would be good. Like, you know, I could follow along visually and probably do this. Nunchucks. Oh, these things do hurt though. Yeah, I probably I just hit my fingers. I'm like, ow, these things do hurt. So yeah, Terry, I could probably use them for self-defense classes. But yes, I remember watching those kung fu movies, Bruce Lee or whatever, on Saturday afternoons with my dad after cartoons, and him saying, you know, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this. You see that move? You see that move? I secretly think he really did want a boy, and he was trying his best to like insert boy behavior into his little girl. Because I did not like this. I did not like this. I did not like watching it. Sometimes I didn't even like watching the cartoons because he liked to watch those action cartoons. And I like to watch the little girly cartoons, right? He didn't want to watch those. He makes me watch the ones he liked. And we ate the cereal that he liked. So yeah, I self-defense, exactly. Hey, BrownGirlBella. I don't remember none of them moves. I don't remember not one. Not one. But okay, so the big renouncing. So here's the thing. A lot of people are renouncing a lot of things. I have seen people renounce. Well, first of all, before we get into what's happening now, let's get into the quiet quitting. So this is what I consider quiet quitting. I had a coworker, a subordinate, who would never work a full week. In some way, some form, something would always happen that he would have to either work from home or take the day off because he had an emergency. It was always something. And so I used to call that quiet quitting, where you just check in just enough and you just put in just enough and you just do just enough. Skate by, not put any more effort in. However, you still want that promotion. You still want the knowledge that people count on you and that people want you for different projects and stuff like that, because they still wanted that, but they just didn't want the work. They didn't want that work. They didn't want to put in that effort. And I'm like, okay, so we've actually been experiencing this whole renouncing thing for a hot minute now, because the quiet quitting is renouncing. The quiet quitting is saying, you know what? I'm not going to do everything that you want me to do, not because of you, but because I don't want to do it. I don't want to work that hard. I don't want to put forth that effort. My friends and I talk about this incessantly, about how in our day, we didn't tell our bosses no. We didn't tell our bosses, I can't make a meeting because it's too early in the morning or it's too late at night for me to make that meeting. What? If anything, I'm the first one on the call. I'm trying to do extra. I'm taking the notes in the meeting and I'm trying to send it as soon as possible so I can show how much of a value I am to the company, because I am in lockstep with you. I am trying to make sure I am invaluable to you. But these younger generations, the younger kids, might be showing us all up, y'all, because they're not putting in the type of work that we put in. They're not doing the type of hours that we did. They're not even going that extra mile to do, a little bit more than what's required in order to get these promotions and to get these accolades and to get these raises and things, yet they're still getting it. I feel like they're showing us up. I feel like they are what we should be. And because we put in that groundwork, they don't have to put in that effort, because we've already laid it out for them. We've already laid out everything that they need to do. And if I'm really being honest with myself, sometimes I coddle my staff and I don't make them do the work that's required, because I think that they might not do it correctly, because they're not as invested. And I'm like, you know what? You're not doing it is a reflection on me. What is renouncing? Renouncing is basically saying, I want nothing to do with this. I want nothing to do with either this job, or I want nothing to do with this organization. And we're going to talk about that in a second too. But it's all about, basically, I quit. That's what renouncing is. I quit. And I feel like this younger generation, these millennials, they're quitting. If it doesn't suit them, if it doesn't give them work-life balance, if it doesn't let them, be creative, be, free-flowing, doesn't allow them to do what they want when they want, they just simply don't do it. And I have seen it time and time again where frankly, they just stop performing. If it doesn't suit them and they don't like it, they just stop performing. But they keep their jobs. But they keep their track to make promotions. We have coddled these younger generations to feel like they are entitled to do and say whatever the heck they want to do and say, with no retaliation, no consequence, no repercussions, no nothing. So let me get into the other reason why I'm mad. So there's been a whole I'm quitting with organizations. I've seen people, and they're, you can Google this, renouncing Greek. Honey, they're renouncing all the Greeks. National Panhellenic, whether it's AKA, Delta, Sigma, whoever, they're quitting. They're renouncing. I don't find it suits my purpose anymore. I'm leaving. And I'm like, all right, cool. This is your, choice to either be in a sorority or not, be in a fraternity or not, be in an organization or not. Here's my thing with it though. Same thing that I feel with working and putting in honest and hearted effort to do the work that's required. I feel like y'all are playing in our faces. Y'all are playing in our faces. Y'all are saying to us, you are not worthy of me doing what is required. And so I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. And to me, especially when I am working my behind off, I'm doing what's necessary and then some to make sure that we are a cohesive team, that we are good, that we are moving on one accord, that, things are in lockstep. To have that come back at you is a hard pill to swallow. For me, hard pill to swallow. And then when I see people on social media saying, oh, I quit Jack and Jill, or I quit AKA, or I quit Delta. Again, cool. It's your choice to do that. But why you got to tell me that though? Why do you have to make a public display of something that was private? And then the reasons that you give aren't even valid reasons. Like, I've listened to some of these podcasts and some of these YouTube videos, and they all kind of say the same thing. They felt like they weren't, serving God, or they weren't, that we were worshiping false idols and things like that. And I'm like, did we pledge the same sorority? Did we take the same oaths? Did we talk about the same things? Because from my oaths and from what I remember, there was no idolation of AKA first and then God. There was none of that. And when you think about when these organizations were founded, 1908, 1906, 1913, this is, steps away from slavery, where all we had as our guiding light and guiding force was the Bible. So it stands to reason that we would be biblical in some of the things that we do. We always talk about, going to church and having a worship day, and it's non-denominational. When I go to my regional conferences or my boule, we always have an ecumenical service. That has always been ingrained in us to worship God, not AKA. We love AKA. We serve AKA through community service outreach that we do, fundraisers that we do, and the like. We service our sorority, but we're not putting our sorority above God. Nobody's doing that. Nobody's doing that. So I don't understand where this whole thing is coming from. And it seems to be a big push with the younger segment, who's already quiet quitting everything, by the way. I quiet quit my job, quiet quit my family, quiet quit my dog. I had one person say she's bringing her dog back to the not the pound, shelter. I think, trying to remember, old age. Bringing the dog back to the shelter because the no longer suits her. The dog no longer suits her purpose. What purpose would that be exactly? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Let me see what y'all say. I see the chat is jumping. Great evening, TC. Hey, TC. Speak that truth, my niece. I'm just saying my opinion. The expansion of Vanessa. I'm 65 years old. Black people do not have an infrastructure to disrespect. We are corporate slaves, period. I get it. I think that there's truth to that. I really do feel that there's truth to that. I feel like it is ingrained in us. But I will say this. My first big girl job, because actually my second big girl job, because I really feel like my first big girl job was when I was in high school and I was in the co-op program and I worked for a bank. It was one of the top banks in the country at that time. So, I've always had a corporate mindset. My mother worked for a corporate company. My grandmother worked for a corporate company. My father was in the corporate sector as well. So I've seen how they move and I see how they act. So I already knew going in to kind of toe the corporate line and look a certain way, be a certain way. Like, when I had my week that I had to go into work, I was in my suits, my proper either Louis Vuitton purse or my Coach purse. Like, I was that corporate girl. And, I always felt like it was my duty to go above and beyond to prove myself that I belonged there. You always have to, it's that old adage, you always got to be better than everybody else to be half as accepted as everybody else. And so I carried that mantra. If I'm honest, I still carry that mantra to just excel and be the best that I can be. But I'm gonna tell you, I really do feel like these millennials have something here, because they're being as respected as we are. They're being as counted as we are. And they are doing much less than we had to do. We were coming in and cutting our teeth in the business world. Much less. I don't know if they're teaching that in school these days or what, but I really feel like that like Wendy Williams used to say, when it's all said and done and I am, in the twilights or whatever, I really wanted to teach, because I feel like with the exception of one of my professors, none of them had actually had a career in advertising or marketing. None of them had actually had a career where they're doing this day in and day out. And I think that level of understanding about what entails marketing, not from the book, but from doing it. And I feel like I learned more from doing it than I did from sitting in a classroom. To me, that's how I feel. Hello, Wendy from TC. Hi, Bliss to Crochet. Welcome in. Thanks for coming. Quiet quitting, baby. Quiet quitting. Girl. You see that employee that only comes in once out of the 3 times a week that they supposed to come in? They quiet quitting. They just stop doing what they need to do, what they are contracted to do. Because if you're contracted to be in the office 3 times a week, but you only come in once or maybe twice in that week, you broke your contract. So why can't we break your contract? Why can't we say, you know what? Your services are no longer needed. Thank you very much and good night. Because I would rather get an employee that says, okay, we're here 3 times a week. I'll be here 3 times a week. We're supposed to be here no later than 8:30. I'll be here no later than 8:30. Do what you say you're going to do. You signed the contract that said, I agree, I'm going to do these things. And then you get there and you don't. And your excuse for that is really no excuse, because you're just like, I don't want to do it. That's not okay. Yeah, they're definitely coddled. I just don't get it. The expansion, Wendy says, at the expansion with Vanessa, and yes, I get it at 72. I am not going to waste my time with knuckleheads. There we go. There we go. The expansion with Vanessa. I'm confused. How could we renounce something we don't have or own? Divine Nine is about trying to live the ideology of Romans and Greeks' strange belief system, in my opinion. I don't know if we are trying to live the ideology of Romans and Greeks. I think we take our names from Romans and Greeks, but it's not about living the ideology of it, because all of them are rooted in community service. At least the Black Greeks, with which I'm a member of. But I feel like what we're rooted in, to me, is not ideology, but it is community service, giving back to our community, giving back to those who are less fortunate than I am. And one of the reasons why I chose the chapter that I'm in currently is because they service the Brooklyn community, of which, if you know anything about me, having been here for any length of time, I'm a Brooklyn girl through and through. Brooklyn is what I breathe, I live. Although I don't live in Brooklyn any longer, I still feel that connection to Brooklyn because that's where I was born. And so I will always figure out a way to give back to Brooklyn, whether it was through a Greek organization or anything else. But I feel like with these new buzzwords and these new things that are coming into play now, I think it is kind of a bandwagon thing, in my opinion, just from the outside looking in. I feel like people are jumping on this new wave of things to say and to do, instead of understanding what the organization is about that you are getting into. Because I'll tell you, I don't know about other orgs, but Alpha Kappa Alpha is not cheap. It's not cheap. We give a lot away in scholarships, and I love that. Especially my chapter, we give 4-year scholarships to young ladies in the Brooklyn community, and we carry them throughout their entire year, entire time in college. So if you're there 4 years, we're there 4 years. We don't let you go. And as long as you maintain a certain grade point average, you will always have a scholarship from us every semester. So I love that about one of the things that we do. We're very, good on going out to the community, giving back to the community. We give a lot away to small business owners in my chapter. In terms of Ivy Awards. That's our nonprofit organization. So we give back a lot to the community that we serve, the Brooklyn community that we serve. So I'm very, very proud of that. And I know a lot of other chapters are doing the same thing as well. So I don't think it's about just random ideology or random flights of fancy with us. I think if you really understood the tenements that we talk about, it's always been about community service and serving all mankind. And not about no Minerva, that's for doggone sure. They're ingrates, in my opinion. Absolutely, Terry. Listen, I really feel like, what is wrong with them? What is wrong with them? Or what is wrong with us? Because clearly They got the secret sauce on this because there's no repercussions for this bad behavior. There's no repercussions. There's no one taking them to task and saying, you know what, this is not right. This is wrong. Stop doing this. It's not a, thank you, Blessed to Crochet. Thank you. It is not an airport. You do not have to announce your departure. Just like you didn't announce your arrival, well, at least I didn't. That happened later. But you don't have to announce to everybody that you leaving. Just go. Just go. You don't have to send me a full, thing. Oh, I quit because of and this whole soliloquy of an email or a letter. I don't need it. I don't need it. And frankly, and I've always had this mindset, but then it crystallized for me when I heard somebody else say it. When you do quit, just let them go that day. All right, see you later. Because they've already checked out. They've already said in their minds, although I'm giving you 2 weeks, I'm really not going to put forth any effort in that 2 weeks. I'm not really going to train my replacement. I'm not really going to put forth, and clean up anything that is dangling. And I'm not going to, write a whole, manual of a procedure for the next person to come in. I'm not doing none of that. I'm checking out. I just want, 2 paychecks and I'm done. And so my whole mindset with that is, since you've already checked out, I don't need you. I don't need you because you're not going to be doing anything but taking up a seat that I could frankly put in somebody else who wants to be here, who wants to put forth that effort, who actually wants to work the 3 days that they were slated to work, without calling out and saying, I got to work from home today, or I can't, work today because I got something to do. You knew you had something to do. I agree, Terry. Especially when Vanessa says that, Wendy, thank you. Perhaps these young people have too much unproductive time on their hand. I think so, Vanessa. I think that this millennial generation, I feel like they move totally different from the way we move. They think totally different from the way we think. And I don't think, although I do, feel some truth in that mindset of, people pleasing and making sure that we please the man. I was going to tell you, after my job with the bank, the next big girl job that I had was working for an advertising agency, and it was a Black-owned agency. And I felt the same way with that Black-owned agency that I did with the white-owned business that I was in prior to that, in that I want to put forth my best effort. I want to show value. I want to show that I'm committed and I'm here and I'm plugged in and I have the best interest of the company at heart. And I feel that I did that because I was promoted 4 times. I was there for 10 years. I was promoted 4 times. And the last time before I left, they were going to promote me again. But I felt like 10 years, I've been there. I've done everything that I could do. I've accomplished a lot in those 10 years. And I felt that it was time for me to move on. And I did. I went to work for the client side of business. But again, had I not put in the work, had I not done what was necessary, I would not have been promoted 4 times. See what else you guys saying. Oh, y'all talking to my Titi? Yay! Vanessa says, are these Black people actually pledging to Roman and Greek mythological characters? I don't know. I don't know. I can tell you Alpha Kappa Alpha does not. I don't know what that young lady was talking about. I watched it on YouTube like everybody else, but she was like, oh, they're, pledging to Minerva or something like that. I'm like, I don't know that. I don't know of that. And if you guys really want to delve in this further, I can, put a panel together of all of the members of the MPHC. So I happen to know people in all of them. So I would be happy to put that together if you guys want to, hear from us about it and what we think about it. Because what really started me, and thank you for that question, Vanessa. What really got me thinking about it was that I was on Instagram and Essence had posed a question, and I was like, Essence, why are you giving this credence? Like, why are you giving this a platform? Of all the things that we could be discussing, everything that's going on in this country, like women not having access to their bodies and what they need to do to protect their bodies, to gay rights and human rights, basically human rights. All of that is more paramount to me than Greek affiliation or lack thereof. In my opinion, there's much more bigger fish to fry. And especially as African Americans, we got a whole lot more fish to fry than what is going on in Greek life and people renouncing or not renouncing or whatever they're doing. Too much. We're giving too much credence to this. And it's almost like, look over here, don't look over here. Because if you think about it, this is a big political season. We have a woman in the second highest office that is a member of the Greek organization. And we have other members of Congress, of the Senate, of the House that are members of Greek organizations. So why is this all coming out with such a big light on it now? Why are people talking about this at this juncture, at this time? Why is that the focus? And that is my inquisitive brain kind of thinking out loud and trying to understand why now? Why this big surge right now in this day and time when there are so many other pressing things that we need to talk about as a people? Why now? That's my thing. Let's see what else y'all talking about. Feeling pretty good today. Oh, I love that. I love that you are, TT. Life is life, and boo. Life is life, and 12 likes. Don't forget to give this video a like. Y'all see my TT. Yes, please press that like button and share it out if you care. All the billionaires, but no Black-owned hospitals. Talk that talk, Vanessa. Talk that talk. All the billionaires, but no Black-owned hospitals, auto manufacturers, government, military systems, currency systems, grocery stores, malls, clothing manufacturers, etc., 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 etc. My point exactly. Why are we focusing on this? You know what I want Diddy to do? You know what will really show me some contrite, some remorse? Put some of those billions that you got, put some of those millions into shelters for women of domestic violence. Put some of that money that you have to teach women how to get out on their own if they are being domestically abused. Get some of that money into the community so we can do better and have better. That's what you can do to show me some contrite. That's what you can do to show Cassie and show your God that you are remorseful, that you feel something besides, oh, I got busted, let me cover my behind. That's what you can do. And then all of those people who are bandwagoning on you and or dogpiling on you, let them put their money where their mouth is too, and let them do some stuff, do some good in this world. But they expect that check on Friday. There you go. And if it ain't there, honey, you will definitely see a mass exodus. If that check ain't clear, it'll be something. Excuse me. Terry says, do you think they're trying to influence a labor crisis in the U.S. by this move? I know we are experiencing a real big crisis in the U.S. right now. There are not enough jobs for the people who need them. There's not enough resources available. If you are unemployed, you only have, I think it's 26 weeks. And then after that, no more. And there's no extensions. Whereas in the past administrations, like Obama's, we had extensions where if people still needed more time to look for a job, they would have the opportunity to still have some money coming in while they were awaiting for their next job. And I know a lot of people who are currently unemployed right now and who need, that extra assistance, and it's just not there. It's just not there. And I absolutely think, some of this has to do with that as well. Good point. Well made, Terry, as always. Vanessa says, why do Black African diaspora people choose to name themselves Greek and pledge their lives to Roman and Greek mythological? I don't know, Vanessa. I don't know. We're Greek because our name comes from Greek, but it comes from the Greek alphabet. But after that, I really don't know, like, what there is that is Greek. Some of our titles, we have Greek titles for different things like president, vice president, all of that. But as it relates to the process and taking your oaths, no. But here's the thing that I say with a lot of things, like, even when I was, in church, you tithe, you worship God, and you worship through the priest or the minister who is at the pulpit. Who's to say that that person is right and godly? There are a lot of quote unquote people of the cloth who are not godly, who do not serve God. Are you renouncing that? Are you renouncing them? There are a lot of people in these so-called mega churches that take your money. They're driving Lexuses and Benzes and the like, Escalades and all of that. You're driving your old hoopty Honda while they're driving Mercedes Benz and got diamonds and necklaces and all of that. Is that godly? Is that, you're worshiping a false idol there? So are they renouncing that? Is that being renounced? Is that even being talked about? No. But you want to harp on this instance and harp on that soundbite as if that is the truth, when it's not. It's not the truth. So until we can have a discussion about it all because I have lots of questions. I have lots of questions, just like you all. I have lots of questions. But the only way that they will get answered is if we have a frank and honest and true dialogue about what is happening here. And it's not just about renouncing, it's about what are you doing in that renouncement? If this is what you want to do, if this is the higher calling, then what are you doing with that higher calling? What is it that you are going to do now that you've renounced your organizations that you were formerly affiliated with? What now? That would be my first question. Thank you. It's bad parents. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Blessed Crochet said, I think work ethic has to be taught, and I don't believe it's being taught. My dad was one of the hardest working people I knew. I learned to work hard from him. Yeah, absolutely. And the same with me. Like my grandmother, I saw her get up at 5 a.m. The night before, she pressed her shirts to make sure that they were pristine. She pressed out her bow tie to make sure that was pristine because she was in front of the building as building security. So she was the receptionist when you first come into American Express, big corporation at their headquarters. So she always made sure that everything was pristine and precise. Her makeup was on point. Her hair, same. Everything about her was pristine because she knew when you came into that building, she was going to be one of the first faces that you saw. So she wanted to have that bright smile. She wanted to give you congeniality and thoughtfulness and compassion when you saw her. And everyone who met my grandmother always said the same thing. She is so lovely. She's so lovely. And that's just how she was. That's just how she was. At the end of her life, as we did her homegoing service, there were people that came out from all walks of life, and everybody said the same thing. I loved her. She was so wonderful. She speaks softly, but she carried a big stick, meaning when she spoke, you had no choice but to listen because she did not raise her voice and she did not mince words, and she meant what she said and she said what she meant. And I love that about her. I love that people came away with such a warm feeling in their heart from my grandmother, because that's what I felt every day that I was with her. And so to see that she had touched lives like that, and people spoke so highly of her, said a lot to her character, and told me I wanted to be just like her. I wanted, when my day is done and when all is said and done, you say that she spoke softly, but she carried a big stick. She meant what she said, and she said what she meant. Because that means a lot. That means a lot. You are focused with maturity. Most younger people are not mature or focused. You had a plan. Perhaps it's time for another Million Man March, or a Million Woman March, or a Million People March. It's time for us to get together and talk about these issues. That's for sure. That's for sure, Vanessa. You are absolutely right about that. There's so much that we need to correct. People are telling us, women, what to do with our bodies. People are telling us how we should act, how we should behave, what we should do. Like, we are going backwards in time. If you look at some of the legislation that is out currently to be put into law, it is taking us backwards. It is not moving us ahead. And when you look at our other fellow countries and counterparts, they are moving light years away ahead of us, light years ahead of us. And if we don't rectify this, we're not going to be a superpower. We're going to be a super joke. And that's facts. If we don't settle this, if we don't get on one accord and start moving this country forward as it needs to be, as it should have been 2, 3 years ago, 4 or 5 years before that, we're never going to succeed. We're never going to get ahead. And we are currently the laughing stock of the country. It is. It's facts. My father and I are me by me. My mother and my brother are Divine Nine. By the way, I needed your live stream tonight. This will be a long holiday weekend of family drama. Listen, give yourself grace, Vanessa. Give yourself the room to do what you need to do to preserve yourself. If you need to back away from family for a minute, do it, sis. Do it, sis. Because I'm gonna tell you from experience, these events, these holiday weekends, these family times are the most stressful because every family has this dirty little secrets, has this things that's not quite something in the buttermilk ain't clean. You know what I mean? And so when you're focused on this and when you're going to these things and you try your best to kind of psych yourself up. I don't know about you, but I start, as I'm putting my makeup on and I'm trying to get myself ready, I'm like, okay, well, here's gonna happen. This is gonna happen. This is probably gonna occur. What are you gonna do about it, Shannon? How are you going to handle when these things come? Are you going to retreat? Are you going to dig your heels in? Are you going to step away from the situation? Give yourself a little time to breathe and to catch your breath and to center yourself and not deal with the bull? Or are you going to fall in line and fall into what's going to happen? Because you know what's going to happen, but how you deal with it is the difference. You know already it's going to happen. You know already you're going to have that uncle that's going to drink a little too much. You know you're going to have that little auntie that's going to be a little too rah-rah for the situation. You have those cousins that want to be smoking the medicinals and other assorted horse things. But it's how you deal with it. It's how you handle those situations, it's how you deal with those situations that make or break you. And my whole thing is, don't let it break you, sis. Don't let it break your spirit. Don't make it harden your heart. Because there's a lot of things, there's a lot of things that can harden your heart, and a lot of things that we go through. Especially, as skin folk. And we have a lot of baggage to unpack. And you got to do the work on yourself. You got to do the hard introspectiveness, and your triggers, what's going to set you off. Don't let it, sis. Don't let it. If you need to go out and just go for a walk, even, in the backyard, hey, listen, I'll be right back. Go out and do a walk. Doesn't have to be long, just long enough for you to decompress, take a deep breath, and know that you are going to be okay. You are going to be okay. You are, because you have no choice but to be. You have no choice but to make the best out of the situation, because you can't change your family. What you were born into is what you're born into. But you can change how you deal with that family. You should have stated it earlier. I'm not a Christian. Oh, that's fine. That's fine, sis. I take them all. I take them all. Come into the fold. Come into the BrownGirlBella Brigade. I will love on you. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are. It's all love here. It really, truly is. And I wish you luck with the family. I know. I'm not going to family this weekend. I'm just not. I'm gonna lay by the pool. Hopefully it's nice enough to lay by the pool. I'm gonna lay by the pool. And hey Bree Bree. Hey gorgeous, how are you? Amen. You heard it first from my titi. Amen and amen and amen to that. Ooh, oh my Michelle. Hi sis. People are lost and don't understand that a life can involve multiple things. A life can't be one entity, even if it is a church. When it fails them, they are devastated and have nothing to turn to. I get it. I get it. But again, when we're talking about, all this denouncing and, God told me da 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 da. Like, wait, God told you that? God told you that? You sure? You sure God told you that? Because I have to say, like, there's nothing in the tenements that say worship your org before God. Show me where it is. I don't see it. I don't see it at all, honey. Bree says people must step up to the plate and hold one another accountable. There's no point in society going downhill and us not progressing towards better situations. I don't care what it takes to do better. You better talk that talk, Miss Bree. Come on in here. Come on in here and do it. Do it. Do it. Yes. Listen, I love it. I love the conversation. Vanessa says, Michelle, BrownGirlBella, Wendy, Bree. Amen, ladies. I know that's right. Listen, do you. I am always going to be pro you, no matter what. Pro you. If you need to step away from that toxic family, step away for your own peace of mind. Like I said, makeup is my therapy, but I also do the work with my therapist. I also do the work with me, looking in the mirror saying, you know what? Today may not have been a good day. I may have cried out of the 8 or 9 or 12 hours I've been up. I might have cried half of them. I might have been on my knees just boo-hooing. But guess what? On that 10th hour, I got up. I washed my face, took a shower or a bath, hugged myself, and I said, you know what? This too shall pass, and you'll get through it. You'll get through it. And the more you get through it, the more you start coping on how to get through it, and the stronger you get on getting that energy, that gravitas, that whatever is inside of you that makes you whole and complete. You'll find it. Sometimes it take a little long. Like I said, I was on that floor for 10 hours. I couldn't find it. The 10th hour came around, I got up and I found it. It takes a while, but you'll get there, babes. I promise you'll get there. I promise you. Straighten your crown and stand tall, kings and queens. I know that's right. Vanessa, thank you. Thank you for your next coffee or tea. Thank you so much, babes. Hold, please.
Hold, please.
We got money, honey.
Hold, please.
We got the money, honey. Thank you. Thank you, Vanessa. Thank you so much. I so appreciate.
Hold, please.
Woo! I always get excited. I always get excited when somebody gets it, I tell you all the time, you guys are my tribe. You guys are my tribe. You're the reason why I do this because, honey, some days I just feel like I don't have it. I don't have it. I won't get it. I'll never get it. I'll never get there. And then the universe shows me somebody or brings me somebody or sends me somebody that says, you're on the right track, sis. You may not think you're helping by, talking about luxury makeup and putting on makeup, but you are. Somebody needs an escape too. Somebody needs to hear that there's somebody out in the world that is going through something similar to what they might be going through. Or there might be something that you may not have even thought about or figured out, but somehow the universe brings it to you, and it's like, wow, I get that. I get why that is. And I'm so glad my therapist told me to do my homework today. And I'm so glad that I immediately did my homework. Because, sometimes you get homework. Remember how it used to be back in the day? You get homework and be like, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do the homework tomorrow. But I did it today, right after I spoke to my therapist. I did my homework. And then right after I did my homework, I came on live and talked to you guys. So for those who watched it from the beginning, that's why I had the conversation start the way that I did. And I hadn't planned it, but again, sometimes I turn this camera on and I start talking and it's just like bunch of stuff that comes out. And some of it, may not have anything to do with the topic that we're talking about, but somehow, if you've been on here for any length of time, the Bella Coaster be Bella coasting, baby. And somehow or another, we might go around and we might go down and up and down like a roller coaster. But honey, we always get right back to the starting point, ready to slay it again another day. So that's where we are right now. Let's go through the last bits of comments. TT says, I don't know what is going on this weekend, but I know how to entertain my own self. I don't know what's going on this weekend either. I have nothing planned. I don't think. I have nothing planned. So I'll be at the pool. You're welcome to come. You're welcome to come. I'll get you if you want. You can sit by the pool. Michelle says, we are calling the fight to regain our rights as back change. Listen, we need to do better. We need to do better as a people. We need to do better as a people because we are going backwards and not forward. And we need to. Bree says, I've been over here fighting for my life, sis. And I would say you are so correct about family. There have been so many things that I have been through. And I will say that family really isn't on my radar. Sometimes you got to let them go. I'm going to be real with you, Bree. Sometimes you got to let family go. And it's not to say that you don't love them. It's not to say that you don't care about them, but sometimes you got to let it go. When it's too toxic and it's more toxic than helpful, when it hurts your heart, you got to self-preserve. You know how they say in case of emergency, if you're on a plane, you got to put your own life mask on first before you put on somebody else's. You got to put your own life mask on. You got to put your own mask on before you can go out and deal with your family and their issues. Because if you let it, it will drag you down. Some things are just too much to bear. And if you continue on, it will just drag you down. And so you have to self-preserve. And it's hard to do because, again, as a people, we are bred, we are nurtured, we are taught to people please. Before we please ourselves, we want to please others. And it's very unpopular and it's taboo to say, you know what? My family ain't worth a damn. It's taboo. Nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to speak on that. We can definitely dive into this. I know we've been 2 hours, and I usually try to keep this under an hour or an hour and 15. I'm way over that time, but I feel like we were talking and we having a good time. And I hate stopping people when they want to talk back to me and I'm dialoguing with you all. I hate to stop that to say, okay, well, time's up, because time's not really up. I ain't going nowhere. I'm here. I'm back here tomorrow. So as long as you want to talk, I'm here to listen and talk back to you. So, but I will tell you, family is the biggest heart suck. Biggest heart suck. And even those well-meaning families, even the families that love each other and want to support each other, there's always somebody in the mix that wants to drag it all down. It's just, I don't know what it is. It, crabs in the barrel with the whole family issue too. I don't know, but I know that we gotta stop it. We gotta stop it, because if we don't start taking back the power, it's just going to drain us, and then there's nothing left. And then you know what happens? The same thing that happens when you give your all to a company, and then at the end of the day they say, okay, well, we're not making our numbers, so we got to let you go. Or, we're losing business, so we got to let you go. Or you're just not as good as everybody else, so we got to let you go. They've moved on. You still are stuck in it, but they've moved on, ready to drain it, and life sucks somebody else. Meanwhile, you're stuck with the shrapnel of what they just blew up in your life, while they move on happily go lucky to whatever's next. That sometimes happens within our own family, where they blow it up, right? They do something and they blow it up, and then move on to something else while you're stuck grappling with the pieces and trying to put it all together after they done blew it up. So my advice to you all, love on yourself, give yourself a hug, treat yourself nice. If it starts getting too much, put one foot in front of the other and get thee to the car or to the train or however you got there. Go home. Don't let them continue to suck the life out of you and continue to drag you down, because you're worth more. BrownGirlBella says you are worth more than that. You are better than that. Okay? I have been needing to just get out my parents for the longest time. I get it. I get it. I get it. Y'all gonna make me cry. I get it. I so get it, y'all. I so get it. I know. Get those young men back on track. We counting on you. Yes. Thank you, Terry. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. My new word is nope. No is a complete and full sentence. Let's be clear. No is a complete and full sentence. And I'm going to tell you, as a former people pleaser myself, I had to grapple with the word no. I don't know how to say no. I need you to do this. Okay, I'll do it. I need you to do. Okay, I'll do it. Even when I don't want to. Even when I really don't want to. I say yes, because I'm like, well, they need me for X, Y, and Z. Well, I need to do X, Y, and Z. Well, if I don't do it, like, who will? Somebody will do it. Somebody else will do it. Here's my thing now. Get somebody else to do it. I'm not doing it. Get somebody else to do it. I have done what I needed to do. I'm good. Get somebody else to do it. Thank you for tonight's thoughts. I have to go to bed now. Have a great weekend, everybody. You too. You too. Ah, I love you, TT. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Ooh. Y'all almost took me out of here. Had me almost thug tearing out here. Y'all know I'm something like a thug. All right, babes. I'm gonna let you guys go. It is over 2 hours. 5 people in the building. I think we hit the 10 mark. I think so. Did we? Let's see. Ooh, 16 people. Hey, hey. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you all for sharing. If there's other things that you guys had to get off your chest too, hit me up in the comment section below and let me know what's good, what's tea. We talked about a lot of things tonight, but if there was other things that you're over, let us know. Let us know. And until next time. Oh, and next time is Sunday. That's the next time I go live. So hopefully I will see you here. I know it is Memorial Day weekend. So if you need a great escape, I'm your girl. I'm going to be talking about makeup that I purchased that I'm kind of feeling. So we're going to be playing in some new makeup and deep diving on that. But until next time, you have now been Bellafied. I love you for watching. Take care and good night. Bye.